I don't have an introduction for this podcast, but I do go by Tony Awdball. This is the Nod Conversation, here with a very special guest.
Mahlleh.
Mahlleh.
That's me.
Cool, man. And then, I came across your name just, from comments from like Destruct and Viva Mescal and like not Silver and Gold, Faraz. I've been seeing your name get tossed around like with those people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so.
Yeah, Froz is dope. I fuck with her. Like, she's the shit. Like, she came to my shows, and I had seen her at Los Globos before all that, because I did a show with her for the Foxy Lunch Corner show.
Oh, wow.
And I love her performance. I love R&B, and she's on that vibe. So yeah. And I felt like I was a fangirl of her, and then she came to my shows. Like, what? That's tight. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That Focus video, that shit was tight, man. It was really cool.
Oh yeah. That show is tight. She's been doing hella shit with Destruct too. I love that. I love all those collabs that she's doing with Destruct right now, because he's dope. I got stuff that I was like messing with him in the studio when I got out here last year, and that's fun. Him in the studio is like really like it was like I got to be a character, and I felt really like just like myself. So it's always been hella fun. And then we did the podcast, so just to see like two different people, and I saw them come together from like different places. I didn't even know they like knew each other like that. I was just like, well, I guess LA's so smaller than I thought it was.
Yeah, the format, right?
Huh?
The format, right? That
the
was
format,
yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, I took that couple episodes out. That shit was tight.
The DJ, he's French. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, don't even trip.
DJ. Cool. Fucking cool. Hella cool ass cat. Super cool.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It was a fun time. I had a good time.
Shit. Well, like usually before these interviews, I try to look up, other interviews that I could find. And, I can't really come up with any as of now. But, I'm just going to ask some basic questions, get those shits out the way, so we get in depth with the more content, you know what I'm saying? So,
I got you. For sure.
So, for those who don't know, that want to be introduced for the first time, let everyone know exactly where you're from and, like what got you into making music.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I'm Mahlleh. I'm originally from East San Jose, California. That's in the Bay Area. So South Bay Area, so like getting close to like Central Cali and shit. But it's like 40 minutes south of Oakland if people don't know where it's at all. It's the third largest city in California, so you should know where it's at. Silicon Valley, though. But, I'm from out there. You can find me at poeticmogul.com/Mahlleh, and that's MAHLLEH. Or on, just, look me up on whatever preferred social platform or, like, streaming platform that you prefer, and, MAHLLEH, you're going to find either my catalog or something you can just, check me out on, and, I got stuff everywhere. I try to be all over the place, so make it easy for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And, how do you come up with the Mahlleh? Is that like your actual name, government name, or?
That's like, like people call like Chacho.
Yeah.
And like, it's Mahlleh. I've had that name since I was like 2 years old. My sister gave it to me when I was 2. Because I was a badass little kid. She's gonna call me like Malita. But my sister's name is Adelita. And so we always kind of had like this little feuding because I'm the baby and she's like, she was the oldest. So she's like, nah, she can't be Malita. I'm Adelita. That's too close to my name. She's Mahlleh. So I was just like, I was 2, so I guess I couldn't really argue. So my whole life, everybody just called me Mahlleh. When I've always done music. I've been doing music since I was young, so I've had a lot of different names. I went by like Shingles at one point when I was doing punk rock. I've had a lot of different. I used to try to go by a lot of different funny little names, but I was always like doing music and just trying little stuff out. And when I did this right here with Mahlleh, I wanted to be myself. I wanted to be like the root of who I was, and that's like, it's family. That's me. I want to be like, just my authentic self and just tell my story. So Mahlleh was just the easiest way for me to kind of transition into, like just being transparent, just telling my story.
No, yeah, hands down, man. It's funny too because growing up, especially for like music people, when you grow up and like you've always been like, like trying to spit flows or just like do your singing or something because I got into hip hop with like 2 friends that rapped all the time, so I just got so influenced and wanted to rap as well. You know what I mean? And I come from like the funniest names too, like from like MC Lovin, because people would call me McLovin all the time.
MC Lovin,
Yeah,
the McLovin.
exactly.
Gangsters.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, it's that super bad shit. And then, but I had like so many different names and stuff. And then, but yeah, my friends, they're still doing their thing and everything. And, they're asking like, oh, so like, what are you going to go by now, man? And I'm like, shit, I don't know, like Tony Oddball, why not? And then they're like, whoa, that has a ring to it. And like, ever since that, I was like, all right, I think I'm just going to solidify it like this and see where it goes from there. You know what I mean? And so, that it's just funny how like you come up with the names, and it's always been names that stuck around for so long. Because I'm a weird dude. I'm not gonna front whatsoever. I'm a weirdo.
That's you. That's you. That's like something you've been called, probably like an oddball or a goofball or like hella goofy and stuff. So it's like, it's been close to who you are. I mean, I think all the names are always close to us, but
yeah,
it's like certain ones stick for, I guess. It's like it's right for the time,
Yeah, no, definitely, man. So yeah, so I guess like. How many years have you been making music like serious, like for in a serious manner?
Oh, like making money off of it?
No, like what really is like solidified like your path? Like, okay, like this is what I want to do.
I was 10 years old.
Oh shit!
I started playing music when I was like 4 years old. So by the time I hit 10, I was kind of like a little guitar prodigy, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be like a famous rock star. Like, I knew I wanted to be, I was, like, shooting to be, like, the best guitar player in the world, the best female guitar player. I wanted to be known as, like, the top. And then this was before I even, like, found my voice. Because before I was always, really quiet. I always had really good lyricism. I could express myself in my lyrics, even when I was young. But I didn't have my voice yet. So I was like, I'm just going to be a famous guitar player. People are going to know me for that. So, like, I always knew I was going to do music since I was young. And my parents, I was very fortunate that they encouraged me in that, because I never really showed a liking to anything. I was like a picky child. Like, I didn't have friends. I didn't like people. I didn't like my own family. I just wanted to be alone and play guitar all day. And they were like, that's what she wants to do? Go ahead and do it, because she gets on my damn nerves. So as long as she does something, I don't care if she does. So they're always really encouraging me to be like, just like happy, because I was like miserable any other time, and music like was the way I really found my happiness. So yeah, I always know I was gonna do this. Always. Sometimes like feel like I get stuck because that's all I know. I'm like, all I know is everything, any aspect of my life, whether it's business, finances, anything constructive, anything creative, it all relates down to music for me. So I just feel like it's like when you see the number 23 everywhere, I just see music everywhere.
Yeah, it really is like that. Yeah, because it's funny because I would always tell people like, people would ask me like, oh, like what is it that you want to do for a career? And I always tell people, I'm like, dude, I wish I could be interested in other shit. Like I'm stuck on music. Like anything to do with music, I'm stuck on it. And it's like, dude, I wish I can have an interest in culinary arts or creating like an office space or like construction. Like I wish I had interest in all these other like promising careers, but like I just know that like, dude, it's just gonna bother me if I don't fucking try this out. You know what I'm saying? And so
I do. I hella feel that. I be thinking about that on the daily sometimes, but sometimes you just can't think about it. You just gotta like follow your heart. When you're an artist, you just do what you love. It's gonna get you right. I think that's anybody. As long as you know what you're talented at, master that, and the rest will work out for you.
So, like, what are some of like who are like kind of like our influences that kind of mold your craft like together?
My whole craft as a complete entire artist. Well, musically, well, I guess just to keep it on topic of like Mahlleh and like what you're gonna be like what you're hearing now. Like I get a lot of influence from like the Fugees, Lauryn Hill when she was young in the Fugees, and like obviously like her her album, The Miseducation, that's a masterpiece in itself. But a lot of people that was doing stuff for the Fugees was doing stuff for her album, and then she had like more people hop on it. But like the whole team behind it, like like everybody who was involved with that, like Wyclef, all the producers. Even some of the music that they like remixed from that stuff, like knowing those artists and just understanding like that vibe. I love that like I loved how they put that together. I like the people who did that stuff and what they put together. I listened to a lot of No Doubt growing up, and I liked the way that they would, because I'm like a nerd when it comes to the people I like. I'll be going and like seeing, like I'm like the person, like when you give me like a DVD or a CD, I'm gonna go like hella like research and obsess about like this one little like thing, and I want to know everything about it. So I was really into No Doubt too, and I used to study and like watch their interviews and see like their behind the scenes, like what was going on in the studio, and they would really just like sit in there and just like go hard on their music, and they'd have a whole bunch of writers in there, but mainly Gwen was in there writing her music, and they would allow for her to express herself with her guitar. That's what she started with. Gwen started off with the guitar, and I love that. I was so into like like the process, not really so much the sound. The sound comes from when you express yourself. That's what I learned as a musician. Like, don't chase the sound, chase a vibe in your vibe. Because I'm not trying to sound like somebody. It's like I'm kind of just more like learning from people's work ethics and like what they do in the studio and like how they are as a musician. And then like on a realistic level, like a lot of people who've mentored me and who've taught me how to do certain things, like my sound right now, like I've been taught by like different producers. I picked up from different people. Like a big mentor, like production wise and engineering wise, was my homie DeKeviano. Like I sat with him and he taught me Ableton, and he's a dope ass musician. He's a badass drummer, badass. Everything. He's a multi-instrumentalist. Don't tell him he's badass because he's very humble, but, like just learning and seeing how he works and everybody who comes around him who's in the studio, like I'm picking up from everything, somebody runs off on me. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans when I was like coming out of like my bands. I was on tour. One of my last tours dates was in New Orleans. I ended up just staying out there, and learning a lot, just like picking up all types of music. And before that, I was just in San Jose, in the Bay Area, living with my mom, being around my family, and I was definitely a big influence by like her music. She's from Detroit, so she's all that Motown music. She's all that, old school. She's like born in '54, so she grew up around that whole era, like '60s and '70s, and I had all her live music up in my ear. I like a lot of Bay Area R&B. I like Tony. I like listening to the old school, like Luther Vandross, and
Yes.
just like really just soaking up the musicians that are on them and going and studying them. And that's what that's me really. I like playing with different sounds. If you listen to like my puzzle piece EP that I did with Kev, you hear a lot of weird sounds. Yeah, and you hear his influence a lot too. I'm a big person that I like to collab with people. I like people bringing their influences, and it really being like it's like we're jamming in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, hands down, man. I'm not getting in front, dude. Like, fucking Tony. Like, thanks to Spotify, obviously, but I found out so many like songs that were stuck in my head for so many years just by finding out who Tony really were. You know what I mean? Tony, and it was like, damn, man. It's like like they had that collaboration, the very popular one with DJ Quick. And that was something that was stuck in my head for so many fucking years. Probably since like middle school. Just the Let's Get Down. And it's like, it's just a melody. It's very melodic, and it's just really hard to like get it out of your system. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I hella know what you feel. And that's like, I feel like that's a lot for like Bay Area R&B, Bay Area artists, and like Cali has a groove, we all have our like different versions of like G-Funk and funk, and it's cool to like see people like catch their hits with all these like little pockets, so yeah, like I definitely was influenced by their projects, and anything that they were involved with too, because they did a lot of like, they were behind the scenes with a lot of people too. Like I like studying that stuff, like like I like Babyface is behind everything. Like I used to study I used to listen the hell out of Babyface, and everybody in the Bay Area loves Babyface. So like just old school stuff like that, you just study. And he wrote it for a lot of music. He used to write for Mariah Carey. I used to listen to Mariah Carey. Like that's because my sister, that's her favorite thing. So I would always listen to it. I can't help it. So it's like I learned from so many different people. That so many different artists are like constantly in my head. I don't really like listening to music now. I'm just like, stop. Too much influence. Like I just want to I want my own mind. I have my own emotions. I want to express myself. I don't want to express what somebody else is telling me,
Yeah, hands down, dude. I find that challenging so much because people will ask, like, who are like they're like Mount Rushmore or like your top people to listen to, and it could go everywhere from like Flatbush Zombies to Nipsey Hussle to Absol. Then all of a sudden, like you won't even expect hearing like fucking Michael Jackson or NSYNC. You know what I mean? I'm very everywhere on shit. So it's like, but those people I can listen to like almost all day. Maybe not NSYNC anymore, but you know, like everybody else I named down and some other people, I can listen to their music all day and I'll be like chilling still. You know what I mean? So it's funny how things can happen that way. But one thing I can say is that the Bay is very overlooked. That's for sure. You know, no one really gives them the credibility, man. They really don't.
And it's because it's like there's no like major industry when it comes to like the entertainment. It's like here in LA you got Hollywood. When you go down to New Orleans you have like that film industry, and like you kind of have it out there, but it's not like so capitalized on as much as it is in other places. And I think that they take pride in that. It's almost like it's big city, but it's still kind of like small town vibes. And like I think that it's easier for people to kind of make their businesses like sustainable for themselves like that, because you don't have some sort of corporation coming in and like just kind of like just either outsourcing or just like inflating like the resources there. So I understand like kind of like why it's almost like it gets really carried, but that can go for anywhere. It's, you know, sometimes like the pressure of the industry can make people want to break out and be bigger. So I guess like everybody has their reasons for why their music's good, and I feel like with the Bay, like that's why their music's overlooked. It's like you don't got like somebody over here, but like, hey, we're over here, like hella big in the industry, But you do have some people, but like they're like they do stay home a lot, they like being in the Bay, and like I would too, like if I could afford it. So you probably catch me out there right now.
Yeah,
up in my little spot, like it's just it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about San Jose, because I know it can be very wild out there.
So dysfunctional, so dysfunctional, so dysfunctional, so dysfunctional, so dysfunctional, so dysfunctional. So dysfunctional, drifting in the sky.
Oh hell yeah! I'm from the east side, and this shit is wild. That's another thing too. Like I'm like just my personal story, because I grew up in a project out there. Like that was completely different. I had a lot of different experiences than from people who even are from San Jose and are from different sides, because they're not seeing like the kind of poverty I'm probably seeing, and the kind of like dysfunctional like shit that's going on like at home with like the school district, the prison system coming and infiltrating in on the community, and the police and gangs and people on drugs, and like I saw like a whole other place, and then you have all like this little weird place of like kids that are trying to like get out of that, but they're like kind of also like battling and conflicted with trying to not be like the people who came before them and got caught up in that system, but at the same time they're like trying to do their own thing, and they're trying to, they got kids. It's like it's a whole different vibe. It's almost like a smaller LA, I would say. I could say it like that. It is like a smaller LA, or specifically like the east side reminds me of like how like a smaller East LA, with a little bit of like South Central in it too,
Yeah.
So like it's just like it's like a vibe. When I think about like the way it looks, the way things are built, I feel like San Jose, like the music there is really great. There's a lot of like talent that hasn't been tapped into from like other places like over here yet. So like I don't know, like it's I could keep talking about San Jose forever, but that's why I started this page called Fortify Studio 408. Because I could talk about it forever, but if you really want to know like how I really feel or my perspective, go check out that page. I show a lot of love to a lot of artists. I show a lot of love to other people who have their businesses going on. I just try to share everything that has to do with like the San Jose culture in a sense. So like check it out. But that's my city, and I'm always gonna show love. I'm always gonna definitely and be honest too. Try to be as honest as possible about it. We got our ups and downs, but there's a lot of love. Like when people show you love out there, they hella show you love. So shout out to everybody in the tank shit.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, go ahead and like shoot me that site, man. Because I'll even add it in the thumbnail or whatever bio that comes out of this, man. Just because like I've always been into stuff like that, and I remember who was it? I think it was actually one of my cousins, because he got sent up north, and I want to say Fresno or some city out there, and what was it?
It's more of an opportunity, for sure.
Yeah, and he told me that there's like a site where they promote like all like Bay Area rap and like Northern California rap and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a specific website that does that, and so with you doing 405 that sounds fire. I like that. I've always been into that stuff.
And there's a lot of places. There's like the San Jose Rap Radar. There's a lot of like figures too. There is one place for the Bay Area in general. It's not just for San Jose. But there's a lot of pages. I should have just wrote this down before because I'm not gonna look at my phone to bring it all up. But I share a lot of their stuff. I share their pages. I tag them in it. So and it's all different stuff. It's like community stuff. It's street shit. It's like all types of culture, like the cruise culture. Like everything. Like I try to just show all sides of it. And it's very multicultural. Like there's so many different cultures that are in San Jose. It's like the Bay Area is such a melting pot, and people are like constantly like sharing their culture with each other. Like I try to tell everybody's story as much as possible, as much as I can see it. So, but I need help. So if y'all feel like I'm not representing San Jose as much, hey man, send me something. If anybody from San Jose watches this, keep me on point. I need help. I run like 13, 14 different pages. So it's like I can only keep up with so much just doing everything by myself the way I do it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And me, like I'm doing this whole podcasting on my own and doing everything, like situating everything, and it's not even much. It's just the lazy side coming out of me, and I'm like, dude, I need an assistant for this shit. Like I need them to set the shit up and organize everything just so I could just like walk in, get my job done, and walk out. But yeah, like I said, that's where the lazy ass of me comes out. But I'll tell you this much though, man. So the reason why I wanted to get a better understanding of San Jose is because I did find this video on YouTube saying "Wake Up, San Jose." It was with you and like two other artists on a song, and like it really just kind of like displayed all that's going on in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it was like murders to a bunch of criminal acts, and just like people just losing people in general. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of wanted to get like a brief understanding of how that was and how that song was put together.
Well, like just to kind of give you an update on what's going on in San Jose right now. That place is so damn corrupt that the chief of the fucking police station quit.
Huh.
He just did. Like when the captain jumped ship, that should tell you something.
Uh-huh.
And I just say like sometimes like man, like there's so much that goes on out there that and nobody cares about it because it's such a big city, and like go talk about San Jose in the rest of the world or the country, and most people don't know what the hell it is, but they don't realize that it's like the center of like everything. It's center, like you don't find Facebook in San Jose, Google there, like everything's in the Silicon Valley, like every multi-million-dollar corporation is there. So it's like, to me personally, I'm just like, wow, like it's probably a reason why nobody wants you to know about it. So like go study that place, man. Like it's got a lot of history there. And, like, people don't even know San Jose was the first capital of California before Sacramento was. Like, that place was known for its agriculture, and everybody went out there to make a hustle. Like, that place is just where everybody goes for resources to make a hustle and then just, go back. It's like a migrating place,
Yeah.
That's even my project that I grew up in, that it used to be just like a little hub for, like, everybody to just live at while they work the fields, because my project used to be surrounded by fields. So it's basically like it was a plaza. It was like a little play bay, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's just a little somewhere everybody just like chilled at, and you lived at. You had your family, you had your community. That's what it used to be. And then the gangs came and got infiltrated by the prison system. Because before that, it wasn't gangs. It was just families, big families. And then all these families got put like labels on them, and then everybody started getting locked up. So like there's a lot. I mean, that's how that whole system is anyways. And, you know, whether it comes to LA to San Jose, like all those stuff, they were just people who came together, and there was a lot of things going on. You know, people get moved out, and you got like, you know, newcomers coming into a local spot. Of course, you're gonna have a friction because there's different cultures. You know, people are gonna clash, and you know, you don't have anybody coming in and trying to bring the peace between people. They want conflict, so. You know, that's how people can come in and start taking over, you know, like land and stuff. Now you got like a whole bunch of multi-million-dollar corporations like coming smack in the hood. But, you know, that's everywhere. That's everywhere you go though. That's like that's the United States for you, you know. Yeah. But everybody got their different level of it. Yeah. You know, I appreciate you taking the time to look at that too, because that video you saw, it was from somebody from San Jose. They were they're just like a very big supporter of my music. You know, I don't know them personally. They made that video and they were inspired by the song that I it was a compilation song. It was like me and like 6 other people. So it was just like a song that I did under Fortified Studio when I had the actual studio set up, and it was a song that I wanted a whole bunch of upcoming artists to come get on, you know, come get some free studio time and, you know, put your voice. We're gonna mix that, you know, put you out there and give you like, you know, give you a platform to really show who you are and, you know, show for San Jose. And that's why I you know, I did like a little exercise where I put it online. I made it like a group, little chat for it online, and I had people like coordinate, come over, you know, sign a sheet and, you know, enter into the studio so that way they can come in and record. And then, you know, I compiled it all together, did a promo for everybody. And that's how I met a lot of people. That's how I started getting business in my studio too. But you know, so that song in general, it was meant to bring community and bring people together. So the fact that somebody from San Jose went out of their way, heard the song, and they were inspired to make a video for it, that's, you know, it's beautiful, because that song was recorded like in 2016, you know. So it was cool like that. It's still circulating, and you know, my city's still being represented, and, you know, stories are still being told, which is beautiful. That's all I want.
No, hands down. Yeah, and you know, because I did check out your Spotify's and everything after, you know, seeing so, and you know, you had that big hit right now with Dysfunctional. It's been like a couple years back now, but like, you know, it's still picking up numbers. You know, I understand why it gets a lot of replay value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, Dysfunctional, that was my first like debut single. It was like the first like official song I ever like dropped like on all platforms like that. And that was like the first one I promoted. It was my first video. And I shot it in San Jose, and, you know, I try to, like, just tell my story of, like, you know, how I grew up. You know, I had my grandma in that video and stuff, and I had a lot of friends I grew up with. You know, I showed all the spots that I grew up, like, just, you know, and I also wanted to show the lifestyle how I grew up. So that's why you see me, like, riding my bike and shit, hopping on the bus and never being home, just being in the street. Because I grew up in the street, you know, like, I have a very dysfunctional background. I had a lot of interviews where I talk a lot about, like, you know, how I lost my mom at a young age, I lost my brother at a young age, I lost a lot of, my family started just dying off. People were just dying off, and I ended up just being alone. By the time I was, like, 14, like, by the time I was, like, 16 for sure, I was, like, completely alone. 14 and 15, I was, like, going home to home, and then by the time I was, like, 16, I was just, like, all right, I got this. Like, you know, I was already making money on the street, you know, and, you know, when I was really, really younger, I was already making money in the street. I always had music. I always had a hustle. Like, I always knew I could sell something. I always knew I could survive, you know, and I never took no for an answer either, because there's a bunch of salesmen in my family. So, I mean, people sold drugs. So, like, why can't I sell CDs? Yeah. So I got the game, but I turned it into something different because I didn't want to end up like people in my family. I wanted to learn and be better. And my mom taught me to be like that. You know, she always said, be better than us. Don't do the same shit that we did, because look where it got us. You know, and even me, I try to tell that to other people because, you know, like, I learned certain things later in life, like fucking patience. And now, like, I'm 26-year-old, and, you know, I still have a problem with, like, certain things in my mind. And, you know, it's like, I look at kids, and I see they got the same issues. Like, learn from that. Like, don't be like us. Be better. You know, so, I don't know, like, that whole song was, it's like the epitome of who I am. You know, it's dysfunctional. You know, it's understanding how to, be aware of dysfunctionality. You know when it's not functioning, you know what it is. You know, don't deny it, because, you know, when you allow that in your space for long enough, you know, it'll corrupt your mind. It is going to corrupt your mind. And if you don't address it, and you don't try to corrupt your mind and learn and relearn things, you're going to get stuck in a cycle. And you're just going to be doing the same damn thing as everybody else before you, and feeling the same misery that everybody else is feeling. Yeah. But it's up to us personally, you know. So sometimes like you just got to do different things. Like that whole song is very meaningful because even in the story is basically just breaking down like my journey into finding basically myself and who I was, like my roots, what I stand in, what I stand for, and stuff. So.
Dang, man. Yeah, I mean, shit. I don't know. For a second, I completely forgot that we were doing an interview right now, man. Like that, I get so invested in these kind of conversations and shit. So I get thrown off sometimes.
I feel we just chopping it up, man. People are getting to know us as we just, I'm being me, and that's I feel like it's the best way for people to get to know people in interviews. So it's all right. I feel you on that too. I'll be no. Too.
Yeah, hands down, man. Because honestly, I hate those Q&As. I hate like, oh, so where are you from? How does that make you feel? And it's just like, just question answer. It's like, dude, I get to know people a lot more with just conversation and then seeing where things go. And if you don't understand something, that's where you can ask the question. If not, just let the conversation flow through. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, but like, you have some like songs that like because I try to go through like like all your projects, and yeah, there's like only like a few that like I really just kept to like keep running back just because it's just like it really just sticks in your head. So Dysfunctional being one of them, but there's also like, whoa, that was I write down a lot. That was one of my favorite ones. You know what I mean?
Oh man, like what was another homage to San Jose. It's with Boca Negra. He's from Eastside, San Jose, and I went to middle school with that guy. I didn't remember at first because when you see somebody in middle school and you grow up hella years later, like grown ass adult, you're not gonna recognize somebody, but I guess he recognized my name and then he kind of put two together, But I still look kind of the same,
Yeah.
So he recognized me and he's like, oh, I went to middle school with you, and I was like putting him on shows because I do shows with Fortify Studio. So it was a very organic the way I got linked back up to him, and he's very much on the same path. He's very much about spitting knowledge. He's always about that. That's why I used to put him on so many shows, and I just want to work with him because I feel like I wanted a community where people are just like this, talking to each other, learning from each other, open with each other, and just building something different than what people normally would see in San Jose. Just try something different, and I got the pleasure of having him, want to work with me on that track. He was my first person I ever asked to be on one of my songs because I never had a feature before. I always would just do stuff by myself. So he's the first person that I asked to feature on my track, and that was an honor for me. That was an honor for me because he's dope. So thanks for checking that out because that song really means a lot. It's basically our message to our community in a sense, for people to listen to us and look up to us. And, I know that song's going to take off. Like, I'm still trying to do a video for it. So if it comes late, I know it'll still blow up. So I appreciate you letting me know. Like, it's still hitting.
No, for sure. Because, that's, one thing I wanted to say, too. And, what's it called? Like, me, I was like, dude, that's, a music video that I would like to see. And then, because my favorite songs to check out from people are the ones that aren't the most popular. Just because it's like, yeah, you may have that one hit that has the most streams out of everything else, but I want to see. I'm a project dude. I like hearing the whole mixtapes, albums, and then get my judgment off that. You know what I'm saying? And it's always those songs that don't have that shine yet, but it's because I know it has that it factor, and I just like to talk about that more than just the singles. I'm a nerd with shit like this. That's just like you were saying earlier. When someone gives you a CD or a DVD, you want to learn almost every little detail about it. And yeah, I'm the same way in a sense. So it's I'm glad I could share that type of pain with someone else. You know what I mean?
It is a pain because it's almost like puzzles. I was you put all the puzzles together. It's you want to see it come together. You're not gonna stop until it does because it's you get a new piece and it's just you see a new hole. You gotta figure out how to fill it.
Yeah,
so,
man.
No, I feel you on that. That's why I like speaking of puzzle, going back to Dysfunctional. That was the first single off my puzzle PCP, which I just dropped it on all platforms on Monday from Mahlleh Mondays, and that project that was my first debut project. I barely dropped it on all platforms now because I was pushing it on Bandcamp for a really really long time. But and I figured I'd just let everybody stream it now and just have their way at it. Go ahead, do some TikTok shit, whatever. Actually, no, fuck it.
Shit.
But yeah, no, that whole EP, Functional, it was really cool. And you like whoa, go check out the song on there called Limpieza. And it's very deep. It's very deep. It's basically like the epitome of dysfunctional and like well put together and like just like completely went in. Like I just went in. Me and Kev, we went hard. We went hard on the instrumentation, a lot of live instrumentation, the layers and the stems on that. Like for all you engineer heads out there, there's like over 100 stems in that one project. Huh. And it's all like organic stuff. Like we were really doing original sound design and like we were just nerding out on that. So, and then, like, my lyrics, I went in just as hard. I picked everything apart. I made sure I went in. I spent, like, probably months on just the song alone. Shit. So.
I know, man. And fucking us as fans, bro, we'll be like, drop the album, drop the single, drop the album. It's like, you know how much fucking work comes in this shit? It's so damn difficult, bro.
There were so many people who would pass by the studio and they'd be like, you need to drop that. We need to hear, the people need to hear that stuff, man, drop that. And I'm just like, nah, you're going to get it. I'm going to just let you wait for it. And I know you're going to be ready. Because you know what? It's such a perfect time that song, it's such a perfect time. I'm getting excited. It's such a perfect time that song is coming out because it's like, it's very relevant to what we're going through. And like, you know, the changes that are happening in our society right now. So, I just feel like it's important. It's an important take on the world. But I wrote it a long ass time ago, and I wrote it even before, way longer before I recorded it, because you know I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot when I was actually like writing the song. Like, and I took a lot of like little pieces and excerpts from things I put together, and I compiled them and broke them down, and you know I draked it. I did a little Drake with it. Yeah. So. What you call it? No, that whole puzzle piece EP is like that. Dysfunctional is like that. Like the whole puzzle piece was the puzzle piece. So I nerded out. I like basically tried to do the most I could think I could do at that time. I tried to reach my cap, just start trying to push myself. I was doing like 12-hour sessions, like just singing, you know, doing exercise, make sure I'm doing my harmonies. Like I'm just busting ass and just trying to get my takes right. You know, I was going hard. I was learning my work ethic. I was learning what worked in the studio, what didn't work in the studio. Like it was a complete, like I was engulfing myself and enveloping into like my talents and eccentricities behind it as well. So yeah, check it out. You want to get into some behind the scenes? Go follow the page I made about it too. I have a whole page dedicated to that project where I just break every little concept that is involved with that project down. And I have like interviews for people involved with it and stuff, and you can hear like where their mind was at when the project was being made too. So if you like that nerdy stuff, like go check that out. Like I'm sure y'all you're gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah, hands down, for sure. I'll be looking on that one right now. Well, after this interview, but that'd be dope.
Yeah, Puzzle Piece 2019. That's the page for it.
Okay. Well, that's something I do want to show here. I've been doing it for everybody. I'd like to see what people would answer, but quarantine already being extended out for practically the whole year. Let's just say for August all the way up until December. So for some reason the internet fucks up while we're in quarantine, and you only have 3 options to listen to, whether it's a band, artist, singer, DJ, whatever. You know, and you get the whole discography. Who are you gonna be rocking with for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year? Oh, okay. So right now, I'm going to say Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz is fire as hell. I could just listen to all his shit. Man, I probably could listen to Ari Lennox.
I like her. Yeah, she's nice.
And then, let me think. Let me really think about this. I want to try to pick something that is going to feed my soul. I'll probably say, I think that this is just something I probably like to do just because, like a producer, I'll probably pick like some instrumentals so that way I could, I can make music too, because I'll probably get tired of listening to the people, and I'll be inspired from Brent Faiyaz and Ari Lennox, and I want something where I can create. So probably I'm gonna try to look for a producer. Mr. Kool Man, He's a shit.
Oh
Actually,
shit.
I won a little contest stuff from him, but I like his music. I'll probably listen to his website. And, yeah, check him out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, hands down, dude. I've completely forgot about Mr. Coolman. I've heard his like probably best like in high school maybe, and this is like it's just so strange to me now because it's like wow, like I never thought I would hear that name again. Like not that like he's irrelevant, but it's like no one talks about producers like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, he's like to me he's still really like he still really got it. I'll go back to his website every now and again to check up on what his latest shit is. He's still hitting. Or him and Tones Jones. Yeah, them two right there. Yeah.
All right, for sure, man.
Yeah, nah.
So you're putting me onto something as well as everybody else listening to this shit, most likely. But yeah, damn, man.
Nah.
Yeah, so that's dope because like I know many people that have always like choose like rappers and singers and it's like that's cool, but then I like it when people think outside the box. Like someone was like, oh, I'll put some Madlib on there, and like that's smart because with Madlib's projects, you also got the Freddie Gibbs projects. You have the Quasimodo, like you have all the different types of like collaborations and work that he's worked on. It is like. You have a great catalog to choose from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel it, yeah. The more variety you got in your days, I feel like, it goes with your mood, You don't want to just have the same mood all day. So it's good to have variety. That's a vibe. That's vibes, You gotta just go with the wind with that stuff.
Yeah, hands down, man. So, 2025, where do you see yourself at?
I'm probably gonna be chilling in my house that I bought and own with a pool in the back. Probably musically though, I see myself probably doing a lot of touring. Doing a lot of online sales with merch. Probably doing like some sort of clothing line. Like I don't want to just do like t-shirts. Like I actually want to do like some designer shit.
Uh-huh.
So, I really want to get into like stuff that's like really cool, like just for me, because I just want to express myself, and I feel like that's something I never got to venture in, and I want to just see where it goes, and see what it does for me. So stuff like that, probably getting into some sort of like sustainable resource that I could like, have for myself, and then if I have to like outsource it to like my community, like having something like that. I don't know. I always wanted to kind of get into like buying and selling stocks, but I don't know. The more I study it, the less I like really want to get into stuff like that. So, you might see me doing stuff like that. You might not. I don't know. Just play it by ear. You might see me going to and taking some educational courses on holistic healing and herbs and stuff, because that's something I really want to get into. And so if you might hear a project from me in the future about that stuff too, just to pass the knowledge on, and how people start thinking on a different wave for like the coming future, because I just think about a lot of stuff. I'm really thinking. I'm trying to think outside the box. So all I know is like I grow a lot in 1 year. Like sometimes like I grow too fast in 1 year. So 5 years like. I might have turned all of my little ideas into some sort of corporate businesses. I move fast, so I'm trying to I'm trying to leave the sky as the limit. I don't want to put a cap on the 5 years. I want to reach to the moon. And,
well, that's the thing, man. So people,
no stars.
That's why Capital Steve said it best, man. Like, like the sky's the limit, but it's more like, nah, you just disguise the limit. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta, you create your own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. I like that.
There we are, man.
Yeah, nah. That's where I see it. Like I definitely want to be spending more time for my family and stuff. So I definitely want to do like, you'll probably see me like, hopefully if not even hopefully, like you definitely gonna be seeing me, continue to do so in my community growing and stuff too. So
yeah,
that
hands down.
Hands down, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what they call? It's weird because I'm so used to telling people that this interview will probably be out like a month or two, just because when the whole Black Lives Matter thing was going on, I had to like push back release dates. And so that's why, like, I only, I think I was maybe sitting on maybe 20, 25 interviews at that time. And, like, it wasn't until as of recently to where, like, I realized, this interview might be coming out, like, in a couple weeks now. You know what I mean? Like, it started, like, dropping. So we're catching up now at this point. It's pretty wild. So definitely, this interview will probably be dropping in, like, probably, like, in the next month, if anything, before that. But before, like, letting you go, like, is there any, like, announcements that you would like to have, whether it's, like, upcoming work, projects, songs, collaborations?
Yeah, well, one, go check out poeticmogul.com. You're going to see, like, any latest of my releases I'm going to be putting up over there. I've been working with the Poetic Mogul label, and, I've been doing a lot of stuff for, like, sales and marketing and, like, team facilitating for, like, promo team and, being an artist as well. So, like, I got a team with them, and, we're going to be doing a lot of big stuff. So a lot of music you want to hear from me, you can go check it out on there. I got my page on there. It's dedicated to all my stuff. It's poeticmogul.com/Mahlleh. And then I do Mahlleh Mondays, so every Monday I'm trying to drop something. Right now I got Water Slide out with Ruckus. It's not my song. It's a feature I got with him. It's for his album, his upcoming debut album he's got coming out. So go check that out on Poetic Mogul too. We got a video coming out for that. So hopefully by the time this comes out, that video is at like 100K views.
Yeah.
Put that out there.
I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put that out there. And what you call it? I got an EP I'm working on currently. It's called the Show Love EP, The Six Senses of Love. Huh. And I'm trying to drop that, like, hopefully before the year ends. And if not, I'm gonna be doing singles from it and snippets from it, and you're gonna be seeing me promote it. That's what I like to do. I like to promote way in advance, just to keep people tied into stuff. Because when I do projects, they're all concept projects. That's part of, like, what me and my team do. And if you see me pushing out my stuff, I'm be pushing Poetic Mogul stuff. I got a lot of dope artists that are on my team. Cleo 100, Jordo. I got a lot of people that are artists that are around me, and we're all trying to do, like, the same vibe and pump each other up. So you're gonna see me doing collabs, especially for Mahlleh Mondays. I'm trying to just stay active. I'm doing something with Boston Boy Gio again. He's an artist I did stuff with in New Orleans when I was living out there. I was doing stuff for him in Slack Yard. And, we did music videos, and our stuff had, like, 100K on Facebook. I got, like, 2 videos with them. And, like, even our behind-the-scenes stuff hit, like, double-digit, views. So I was, like, definitely down to do something with him. So by the time, hopefully, when this comes out, I'll probably be having that video coming out with him. So we're going to be doing a remix called it's for What's Poppin' with Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
We're just going to do a little remix. I'm going to be spitting some stuff, Lately I've been trying to do more, like, hype stuff, in the sense of, like, stuff that's gonna make people, like smile and stuff, and, like, just, like, want to enjoy, like, good time and, dance. I want to make something that people can enjoy community with. Sometimes my music's all down and low, and a different vibe makes me want to be alone in the bath, maybe some candles. I don't know, whatever the case. It's really chill.
Everybody has different moods, you just got to go ahead and you got to fill that void, what I mean? We all have different moods. So I want to, I want to, like, listen to stuff that hits my spirit, but if I'm going out and about, like, dude, fucking put on any kind of turn up shit you got, what I mean? Like, I have a lot of energy I like to release, but sometimes if I'm chilling with the honey and stuff, like, hey, like, throwing some, like, R&B type of shit, or throwing some, like, soft hip-hop stuff or something, what I mean? It's okay to make everything diverse,
There's a mood for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Shit.
Damn. That's why I just be experimental and just, like, show all sides of myself. I got a lot of different sides of myself, so it's not hard for me to express myself. It's kind of sometimes hard for me to do with Mahlleh, because I'm, like, I try to stick to, like, what everybody, like, normally is, like, used to me, with the hard bars and the conscious and digging all with the emotions and saying the stuff that people aren't really, like, trying to say in their music,
Yeah.
But I can still do that on some hype stuff. People do it all the time in the Bay Area. We talk about some real ass shit, and it's just hella hype.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, he's, like, telling the story, bro. Like, it's kind of sad. Actually, it's a sad song. He's, like, coming on this hella hard and hype. And so it's like obviously people do it, so I'm gonna, if you listen to my Honda Express EP, you kind of see me kind of playing with it a little bit. But still, I can still learn a lot. So I'm just trying to draw,
Yeah, no, hands down. Yeah, I'll tell you this much, man. When it comes to Bay, at least like newer generation Bay Area, man. Like I'll say like Mozzie is definitely up there. Chewy's up there. Like I've always loved their sounds and stuff, and it's like the delivery and the voice and what they talk about. It's like, bro, like how can you like turn it away? You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel that. I appreciate that you appreciate it because it's not everybody's cup of tea sometimes, but when it hits, it hits. You can't help it. You just want to hop out the car and go ride the whip.
Yeah. I wish I could, but I'm too clumsy, so it's not gonna work for me.
All right.
Shit. Well, just like an intro, I don't have an outro, but I do go by Tony Awdball. This is an odd conversation with a very special guest, Mahlleh. And you know what? Like, let's when quarantine lifts up and like shit's gonna be opened again, let's definitely work on some shit. I'm down to try to make some kind of creation and stuff.
Yeah, man, let's do it. You, even though I'm not in the same place as you, I still feel your vibes, and I know it'll be dope. Like, like that's all it is. Just come with the good vibes, and everything good will happen. That's how it works.
No, hands down. Like, cause wait, were you up in San Jose now, or are you out somewhere else?
No, I'm out here in LA. I try to stay close to Poetic Mogul. They got the studio out here, and I got my team out here, so definitely try to stay close so I can handle my business out here. Especially with this stuff with Ruckus. I just shot the video, and I'll be out here, but I'll be going home a lot. I'm actually going to New Orleans next month so I can shoot the music video with Boston Boy Gio. So I'm moving. The flights is cheap right now with all this COVID stuff.
Might as well take advantage of it now, right?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Shit. Yeah. Well, let's make it like a big thing, man. Like, tell all your artists, hit me up. Let's do something. You know what I mean? Let's do an interview, even if it's over FaceTime and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just know that let's get some work out there, some more content. You know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah! No, help that. I got you.
For sure, man. Well, you know what? I'm excited to actually let this one out, man. It was a really good, real gems inside the shit.
Gems inside? What'd you say?
Like it's there's like some real like gems inside this interview, like.
Oh, gems inside. I was like gems inside. Oh yeah, yeah. No, definitely. There's definitely some gems in this, and I hope people appreciate them gems because I like sitting here doing this stuff. It makes me feel a lot better to just to just do this. It's conversation, man. We're just conversing.
Exactly, man. Because me, I'm not around these type of people, man. I'm not around music people so often. So me doing these interviews brings me therapeutic vibes.
Exactly, and we need a lot of that right now.
Exactly. Shit. Well, you know what? I'm gonna, we're gonna end it right here. But you know what? I'll let you know exactly when this thing releases and stuff.
Yeah. Keep me posted. But we'll end it. Have a good night, man. Thanks for having me on here. Like, I appreciate it. Like, thank you. For real, it means a lot to sit here and get to tell my story. So thanks for giving me a platform, man. I appreciate it.
Don't even worry about it. Thank you for your time. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah,
Cool.
no problem. You got it, man.
Peace and love.
All right, man.